Tara here with you. If you're just joining us for the first time, I just want to say welcome. If you are returning and joining us and regularly support me here with these lives, I just want to say thank you. Your support means so much to me. And I want to jump right in it today. I don't have a ton of time here. Being a mom of three, it really does keep me on my toes certain days. And I feel like lately, more than not, that's kind of the case. So we're going to keep this short and sweet. But today I want to cover the power of telling your story. And this is something that's near and dear to my heart. I am in the process of sharing my story and what happened to me growing up and how I was able to overcome that. And the accuracy and the detail, it's a lot, and it's a learning curve, and it's a process because sometimes through our pain we suppress memories and information that keep us from remembering the full story, and that was to protect us. But when we get into a season where we're ready to heal and we're ready to go to that next level, sometimes at different levels we're taking back through something we thought we took care of in order to find the Lord in that situation because he was always with us. But secondly, also to redefine our identity and who we are in the Lord, and to be able to see ourselves the way that he sees us, and also to put us in a place of be, because a lot of times we're striving for results and we're striving to get to that next place in our lives and to make an impact. And that's totally intentional and done on purpose because we're totally meant to make an impact. Okay, we're meant to make impacts. Some of you are meant to make impacts on a global, national, international level, right? But sometimes it means bringing closure to our past and sometimes highlighting the stories along the way because people enjoy watching and listening and connecting with somebody who is vulnerable, okay? Because let me tell you, Facebook, any social media makes you look really good on the surface, right? Hey, Barbara, it's nice to have you. Any sort of social media makes you look really great when you share everything that's positive, okay? But that's just a tidbit of your life when you think about the overall grand scheme of things, okay? And I'm not saying, completely hide yourself or completely share everything about yourself, okay? But there is a reason that you have been through the pain that you've been through, okay? That was not in vain. That was not because the Lord wanted to punish you. It wasn't any of those things, okay? Sometimes bad things happen to good people. Sometimes good things happen to good people, right? And so, really, being vulnerable and relatable makes you purposeful in your intention when you connect with people. And it attracts people to you because then they start to be able to say, oh my gosh, I went through that too. And they're sharing this, this, and this. Oh yeah, I get it. And then they want to start engaging and connecting with you more because you have something, you've gone through something and overcame something that they are currently going through or have gone through or will go through at some point in their lives for whatever reason. And, the Lord has created a book in the heavens, okay, that has everything in your life. So he knows exactly what's going to happen to you, when it's going to manifest, and how it's going to unfold. But we have the ability to connect with that manifestation here on earth, whether positive or negative. Okay, and we need to take that opportunity to share our experiences and our story, okay, because sometimes we have to be the person. Here's what I want you to connect with. We have to be the person that goes through a situation, whether positive or negative, okay, because the Lord wants to bring change to our lives, okay. He wants to use something to touch somebody else's life. Okay, but in order for you to have authority over that thing, okay, you have to be willing to share your story. You have to be willing to open up about what your experiences were. Some of you are destined to write books. You're destined to create products. You're destined to open centers. center, sorry, you're destined to create a huge impact. Some of you are destined to speak in front of thousands of people. Some of you are meant to impact lives in your local community from what you overcame. Sometimes you go through something so that you're refined, so that you can overcome. And no matter how small or how big your testimony is, because some people will say, they'll tell me, well, Tara, I don't even have a testimony, so how can I share that testimony? Well, it's really, really simple, okay? Share what you have. Share what you have overcome, okay? Because some people are saying, I don't have any more purpose in my life. I just want the Lord to take me home. I don't feel like he's really doing much. I don't understand what he wants to do. Well, he just wants you to be, okay? And when it's time for that healing process to happen, he will take you there inch by inch. He will reveal things to you. I'm in the middle of this right now. He will reveal things to you that you had totally forgotten about, or you thought that you had gone through and dealt with. But when you get to the other side, or whatever your pain is, whatever it is that you went through, whatever you had to overcome, okay, there is a great testimony to that, okay? Because there are people that you are assigned to. The Lord has assigned these people to you before you were born, okay, for such a time as now, that you would go out and you would bring that impact. You would bring heaven to earth and make a connection with people, okay? I want to really encourage you to start sharing. It doesn't have to be major. You could just be praying for the Lord to connect you with somebody that's in your community, okay? And you start feeling this gut feeling, or that you need to pray or say something nice to a person even, okay? Sometimes it starts like that, and then you can share your story. Just, open up to them, ask them how they're doing. Okay, well, not good, and, what's going on, how can I be there for you? Well, and then they'll start telling you, and you'll be like, oh my gosh, this is why I connected with this person. And ask the Lord at that point just to give you the words that you can start being a testimony to other people, okay? Because other people need hope again, okay? And in that process of starting to open up and share your story, you're going to start receiving revelation and healing yourself. You're going to start having epiphany moments, and you're going to start having light bulbs connect. And don't be surprised if even in sharing that you're grieving, because you're grieving a loss, you're grieving something that happened to you, okay? But on the other side, here's how you transformed, okay? It could be something, smaller. It could be something really big and significant. Maybe you, this area of your life that you felt held back on, you're now sharing your story. And as a result, you were able to help 10 more lives get to the other side and have that breakthrough. Maybe that's in your company, or maybe that's in your business or a service you provide. So that enhances your income while you're helping others, okay? That's a testimony, okay? Or maybe as a result of something happening to you, it propelled you forward to start making healthier changes to your body, let's say, and you lost inches and significant amount of weight. Guess what? That's also a testimony. Even if you lost only 10 pounds, hey, I want to share with you today how I lost 10 pounds in a month and a half. I went from this size to this size, or I've lost this many inches in X amount of days. Get with me so I can show you how. Okay? It could be something just as simple as that. I'm kind of sharing a headline with you, for example, okay? But you get the gist of what I'm saying, right? Your testimony is there so that you can be there for other people. But sometimes you have to go through it so that you can be given authority from heaven above, from the Lord above, okay? So that way when you pray for somebody, there is power in that prayer. There is power in that connection that he aligns you with that person. I had this just happen to me last week, okay? And I didn't even know it. So for example, let me give you a really good example here. I knew years ago that I was a bulimic. I was not diagnosed, but it all started because one night I was having a lot of anxiety, and I started asking the Lord, why am I having anxiety with, not giving myself a snack at 7 p.m.? First of all, I wasn't hungry. It wasn't because I wanted to enjoy a snack, but I had this anxiety. Like, why do I have this anxiety? So I started asking the Lord, and the Lord slowly started revealing to me why that was. Okay. And, over time, that led me on a path of getting my health back, you know, and I started understanding what that connection really was. I was an exercise bulimic. My purge of choice was punishing myself and being obsessed. So I had some OCD and some anxiety behavior because of trauma, things that were going on in my home environment, and that were causing me a lot of anxiety. And I was obsessing if I didn't get my workout in because it would relieve all the anxiety. Okay. And so, I've had to learn how to overcome a food addiction, okay, that I had for years and years. Anytime things got stressful, it was my way of suppressing and not having to feel things. Okay, that was my, for some people it's smoking cigarettes, for some people it's alcohol. For me, it was food. Okay, and so that eventually led me on a path. When I saw some things that happened in my family and myself over time, I thought, oh my gosh, I've got to do something about this. So it led me on a journey of getting my health back on track and working out daily and changing the way that I ate. And as a result of that, I was able to go and of course I was pregnant with my third child because I now have a 1-year-old daughter. Okay. So I could create a testimony. At first I started using, the product a couple years ago before I got pregnant. But then once I used that product, I started seeing decrease in inflammation, check, better sleep, check, better mood and balance, check. And I started seeing all these things. So I'm like, this is awesome. Then I started seeing inches in weight coming off. Okay. So then I could create a testimony and I could say, find out how I lost, X amount of inches, 15 to 20 pounds in a few months' time. Okay, and how I was able to release inflammation and get better sleep and have better overall mood. How many of you need to have that? If so, let's connect, right? Something simple like that. It's not exactly how I word it, but you get the idea. Okay, I've had a lot of people connect with me as a result, and over time, your story and your testimony is going to change. Now I've lost well over 40 pounds. I only ever gained between 9 and 11 pounds when I had my daughter. Okay, so most of that was actual weight loss. And I've been able to go from a 14, 16 petite down to I'm almost a size 8 petite now in my pants. And as a result, I had to go through my wardrobe yesterday and I got rid of 2 bags of clothes that were too big on me now. I can't even fit into my clothing anymore because that's how significant my weight loss has been. So what does that mean for me? Well, now I get to update my story and where I'm going with that. And don't you think that that's inspirational? I mean, there are people that have had trouble losing weight. There are people that want to get inches off. There are people that want to have better health. They want to get rid of the inflammation. Maybe they're in pain every day, right? But if I don't get out there and I don't share how along the way that I was able to achieve XYZ results, then nobody would ever know that I had decrease in inflammation. Nobody would know that there is hope for pain and relief, right? Nobody would know that there's weight loss that's all natural, or that, having good workout routines and developing habits, it's real easy to take a pill, right? But it's another thing to actually get results based off of hard work and putting your heart into something and really doing something because you tangibly want to create a result that's going to make a difference in the lives of other people in the long haul. Okay? So people need to know about that. They need their hope back. Maybe they're in really bad shape if they don't lose it. Okay? Or maybe they're struggling with overeating. I mean, that's common. A lot of people struggle with overeating. Okay, they may think that they're not overeating, but they are overeating. Okay, they're overeating to overcompensate for anxiety and depression and other issues that are in their life. Trust me, it's true. Okay, I know, I've been through it, I know. Okay, I'm not saying everybody that is overweight is depressed, but I'm saying that there is definitely a correlation between food and anxiety and depression. There is. It's usually an anxiety issue. Okay. And so people need to know that there's somebody out there that really cares and really wants to help them. But if I didn't take the time to actually exercise and to do those things and to actually share, You wouldn't know. Most people don't know that I had eating disorder. Okay, I'm in the process of writing my book now, and I'm starting to connect with my why. And that's another reason that you need to share your story, because you need to connect with your why. Why are you doing this? Why are you so passionate about making a difference? And if you've lost sight of that vision, I want you to really pray to the Lord to connect you back with your vision. Because some time ago, there was a reason why you got out of bed every day. There was a reason why you got up and you put your clothes on and you walked out the door and you wanted to make a difference in some way. There was something motivating you to do that. Okay? You need to identify with that and find your purpose. Okay? Just like there are people that will tell you how great they are and, how much they invested in, the conversation's all about them. Okay? You definitely don't want to become that person. Okay? But what you do want to do is be humble and vulnerable enough to share your story, because the more you share and the more you heal, the more you'll connect with your why, and you'll be able to help other people find their why. When they know their why and you have them share that, it opens a new set of doors for them. They become unlocked. It's kind of like you have a key and you're turning the knob and you're unlocking a door for those people. You're definitely unlocking a door for them. Okay, a door that they may not otherwise see. When I first looked at the company that I'm with now, okay, I didn't see it right away. It took somebody believing in me and unlocking me in order for me to see it. Okay, but once they tapped in and I really, was listening to them, I'm like, I get it now. And they had me repeat back to me why I was passionate about that, right? And so that's what you want to do. You want to share your story so you create a buzz, that you become a light in a dark place for other people who need hope and need transformation. And if you don't get up and start making those changes and sharing, I'm not saying go on Facebook Live every day like I do, okay? But when the opportunity arises, think how much, stop looking at your business as a means of pushing something. It is a vehicle to fund other things. It is a vehicle to do other things. Okay, but please listen to my heart. When you're doing a company or a business, or you're even sharing a personal testimony that's just about you personally and maybe what the Lord's done for your life, okay, you're sharing an experience. Okay, you're connecting two people because you want to share and connect that experience. You want to make it tangible for them. Okay, so that they see wow, I wish the Lord would speak to me like this, but he can. Okay, what are your goals? You could start a whole conversation on this, and maybe it's not 500 people's lives you're transforming at once, but it starts with one life. And if you can be a testimony to one person and impact them in a positive light, that person can then share their story and go on and on and on. And next thing you know, 500 lives were impacted. It just doesn't seem like it because you were called to plant the seed. Okay, but once a seed's planted, it does what? It can take root. And once it takes root, okay, the root system is developing under the ground. And so we cannot see the tangible results yet necessarily. Sometimes we can, okay, but you start to see a sprout. But once that sprout really takes off, okay, and you start germinating, then you can take more seeds and plant more seeds. Because not all seeds are going to take root. Guess what? You don't tangibly relate to everybody. Okay? Your story may not impact everybody, but to those it impacts, those are your tribe. And those are the people that you're called to make the biggest difference in. Okay? It is not natural for me to come on Facebook Live and share the Lord's word all the time. Okay? It's not natural for me to share all these experiences, or to share words, or to encourage you, okay? But why do I do it? Because I believe in the power of planting a seed. I believe in the power of being vulnerable. I believe in the power of sharing a story. I believe in seeing people's lives transformed. And if I don't show up, then the lives that I'm assigned to, I can't make a difference in, because, all of my other friends aren't meant to connect with that one person, but I'm meant to connect with that person, okay? But I have to show up in order to accomplish that. I have to be willing to be God's obedient servant and to show up and to share. Even when I don't feel like sharing, even when I'm going through a healing process and it's really vulnerable and I'm a mess and I'm crying. I had somebody come in the other day and here I was like a hot mess, but it gave me an opportunity to share my testimony. You know, yeah, that's right. It'll eventually yield a harvest, and that's the whole point. God wants to harvest. He wants a heart connection with us. He wants to transform our lives. But a seed cannot sprout and be transformed into a beautiful garden if we're not willing to share where we're at and what our experiences are. I'm not saying share everything, but I am saying be real, you guys. Be vulnerable. You know, find people to connect with in your everyday life. It just starts with one person. And even if you just go out, my challenge for you today, in fact, is to go out and I want you to connect with at least one person. One person, okay, that you can share your story with. Okay, it doesn't have to be a ton of people. Okay, if you have a big story and you're in the process of writing a book like I am, that's awesome. Okay, you're sharing in that way. But what I'm saying is lock arms with your community. Start being a light. Start being a voice for people. Okay, because that's what the Lord asked of us anyway, to spread the word, his good word. Well, if you've been transformed, that's by the grace of God. So why aren't you out there sharing it? Because everybody needs to have hope, love. Everybody needs love without a condition attached to it. They just need to be received where they're at. And you were once there where they're at. So what perfect timing, God's timing, to share the glory of God with someone and to be a light and a testimony in a dark place. Who knows? Maybe you can connect them with other resources. And then they start referring people to you because you were after their heart. You had God's heart and you were after it. Wherever you're at, no matter where you're at in your weight loss journey, your whatever, your connection with people that you haven't connected with in a long time, your business, your company, whatever that looks like, please lead with this. Share your heart. Connect. Find a way to connect. Find the common ground. Find your testimony. Find your story and share it. Even if it takes courage. It takes courage to share. But out of it is going to come a beautiful harvest. Out of the refiner's fire is going to become a beautiful diamond, because diamonds are hideous before they're refined. They look like ugly stones, you know. But once they're put through that and they've been transformed, they're gorgeous. Okay? Who doesn't like wearing diamonds, right? Me, I like wearing them, right? You like wearing them, right? Most of us like them. Okay? But we can't become a diamond if we're not willing to go through a refiner's fire and if we're not willing to share. And part of going through the fire is exposing truth. So get over yourself and out of your way, okay? And stop being a people pleaser. And start just sharing. Come from your heart. And if some people leave, that's okay. If they don't understand you, that's okay. If they don't get why you're sharing your story, that's okay. You were just there to plant the seed. Somebody else is going to germinate the seed. Okay? But you shared. You led the path. You were obedient and did what you were supposed to do. So as a servant of God and one servant to another, I challenge you to share your heart with one person today. Make a difference in one sort of way. I just got mine in with doing Facebook Live. I shared some vulnerable facts about myself. And if you're just now jumping on, I really want you to go back and catch that replay because it's really powerful. You know, the Lord is really working in this, okay? I didn't even know until like 5 minutes before I jumped on here what I was going to even talk about. And the Lord said, teach people how to share their story. So just open up and start sharing your story. I encourage you to do that. And if you need help with identifying and connecting with your why, I want to be that place for you. So I'm going to leave my information in the contact section. Give me a few minutes here because I'm kind of in between children at the moment. Busy mom, right? But not too busy for you. I want to really connect with you. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave my information in the comments. And there are 3 ways to get in touch with me. And by the way, yeah, you bet, Lynette. It's really good to see you here, by the way. I need to connect with you again. Speaking of connecting, right? I want to see how you're doing. Anyway, I've missed talking with you. And hearing you, I catch your stories sometimes and they're awesome. And what you share, I really love watching what you share, Lynette. It's awesome. But in the meantime, there are 3 ways that you can get in touch with me. So the first is Facebook. And whether we're friends or not, I check my others folder, so you can feel free to reach out to me since this is a public video. The other way that you can get in touch with me is by email. It'll be in the contact information in the comment section below attached to this video. And the other way is to click on my link. It's going to ask you to do a couple things, but it's super quick, I promise. You just fill out your name and your email address, and then click on, get started, or, fill out application. And it'll seem like you're filling out an application, but you're not. You're just, what it's doing is you're getting in my calendar, you see. So that way I can have my undivided attention on you, and you can have your undivided attention on me. And the other thing that I would like is if you found this video to be very purposeful and helpful, I want you to do me a favor and just share this video, because everybody needs hope and they need love and they need to feel that they can identify and connect and to share their story. This is going to really help somebody, okay? I don't have access to all of your friends, but guess what? You do. So by sharing this, you allow me to expand the reach of the Lord's word and really sharing this word powerfully so that they can share their stories too. Because it shouldn't just be about you and me sharing our story, right? Everybody should be sharing their story. So please do me a favor and get this video out there so that people can begin to have hope and start sharing their story again. We go out 2 by 2, 2 by 2, 2 by 2. Okay, so you and me, we share, and then the idea is that, these 2 share their story, these 2 share their story, these 2, and then pretty soon it's multiplication. We're all sharing our story and helping people to benefit the kingdom of God. Amen? So I do have to get going, but it's been really awesome. I love interaction. Lynette, thank you so much for jumping on, and to the rest of you that jumped on and said hi. It's really awesome. I'm so glad that you're here, that you've set some time aside to support another sister. I really appreciate that a lot. It means a lot to me. And get the word out. And if you'd like to connect more with your vision or your purpose, or you're trying to figure out what that looks like, that's something that you and I can discuss, is something that I coach other people on. I'd be happy to connect with you. So when I hop off here, I'll leave that information, fill it out, connect with me, whether Facebook, email, or clicking on my website link, and we'll get you in my schedule so that we can connect more. I really look forward to it. Have a great rest of your day. Stay tuned for the time tomorrow in which we connect on Facebook Live. And otherwise, have a great rest of your day. Know that I'm praying for you, and be super blessed. Bye for now.